Welcome to WiserReads, the channel where wisdom from the greatest books is brought to you in clear, powerful, and practical lessons. Today, we dive into one of the most influential self-development classics of all time, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Since its first publication in 1989, this book has transformed the lives of millions across the globe, from top business leaders to students, parents, and everyday individuals searching for more effectiveness and balance in life. What makes this book stand out is not just its timeless advice, but its focus on principle-centered living, building habits rooted in character, integrity, and long-term success, rather than relying on quick fixes or superficial tricks. Covey introduces us to a powerful framework of 7 habits designed to shift us from dependence to independence, and ultimately to interdependence, where real growth, collaboration, and success flourish. These habits guide us in taking responsibility for our lives, clarifying our goals, managing priorities, building meaningful relationships, and continuously improving ourselves. What you'll find in this summary is more than just productivity tips. It's a blueprint for personal transformation. Whether you're aiming to improve your career, relationships, or inner growth, the principles in this book provide actionable steps to align your daily choices with your deepest values. So if you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or uncertain about how to focus on what truly matters, this book offers clarity. Stay with us until the end, and you'll discover not only the 7 powerful habits, but also how to integrate them into your own life to unlock lasting success and fulfillment. Let's begin this journey of growth and effectiveness together. Be proactive is the first and foundational habit Stephen Covey introduces in his book. At its core, being proactive means taking full responsibility for your life, your choices, actions, and responses, rather than reacting passively to external circumstances or blaming others for your situation. Covey emphasizes that proactive people recognize their circle of influence, focusing their energy on things they can control, such as their thoughts, behaviors, and decisions, instead of wasting time on things they cannot influence, like other people's opinions or unexpected events. Proactive individuals understand that their responses shape outcomes. They choose to act based on values and principles, rather than moods, impulses, or conditions. This mindset contrasts sharply with reactive people, who let external factors dictate their emotions and actions, often responding with blame, excuses, or short-term fixes. Covey also highlights the importance of self-awareness, which allows us to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting automatically. By developing proactivity, individuals gain the power to break destructive patterns, take initiative, and create positive momentum in their personal and professional lives. In essence, be proactive teaches that you are the architect of your own life. While you cannot control every event, you can control how you respond, and that choice determines your effectiveness, growth, and long-term success. Practicing proactivity sets the stage for all the other habits, creating a strong foundation for independence, personal mastery, and meaningful impact on the world around you. Begin with the end in mind is the second habit Stephen Covey presents, and it emphasizes the power of clarity and purpose in shaping your life. At its core, this habit encourages individuals to define a clear vision of what they want to achieve, personally, professionally, and spiritually, before taking action. By knowing your destination, you can make decisions and take steps that align with your deepest values and long-term goals. Covey highlights the importance of life principles and personal mission statements as guiding tools. A personal mission statement acts like a compass, helping you navigate daily choices with intention, rather than drifting through life reacting to external pressures.
People who begin with the end in mind are able to prioritize meaningfully, focus on what truly matters, and avoid distractions that lead away from their purpose. This habit also involves visualizing the legacy you want to leave and the impact you hope to have on others. By mentally seeing your ideal outcomes and the person you aspire to be, you create a roadmap that aligns your actions with your values. Covey explains that this proactive approach fosters integrity, discipline, and consistency because every decision is filtered through a clear understanding of your ultimate goals. In essence, begin with the end in mind teaches that success is intentional, not accidental. By clarifying your vision and acting with purpose, you set a strong foundation for the habits that follow, turning your life into a conscious creation rather than a series of reactions. When you know where you want to go, every step you take becomes meaningful and effective.
Put first things first is the third habit in Stephen Covey's framework, focusing on time management, prioritization, and living with purpose. While the first two habits, be proactive and begin with the end in mind, set the foundation of responsibility and vision, this habit is about execution, making sure your daily actions align with your highest priorities and long-term goals. Covey introduces the time management matrix, which divides tasks into 4 categories: important and urgent, crises and pressing deadlines; important but not urgent, strategic planning, personal growth, relationship building; not important but urgent, interruptions, some emails or calls; not important and not urgent, distractions, trivial activities. Highly effective people focus primarily on important but not urgent activities, quadrant 2, which are often neglected despite their profound impact on long-term success and personal fulfillment. By proactively scheduling these activities, individuals prevent crises, reduce stress, and create meaningful progress in their lives. Covey emphasizes that putting first things first is not just about managing time, it's about managing yourself. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and the courage to say no to less important tasks or distractions. It also strengthens relationships, enhances productivity, and aligns daily actions with core values and life purpose. In essence, put first things first teaches that effectiveness comes from prioritizing what truly matters rather than reacting to urgent but less significant demands. By focusing on your highest priorities, you live intentionally, avoid burnout, and create a life that reflects your deepest values and goals. Think win-win is the fourth habit in Stephen Covey's framework, focusing on collaboration, mutual benefit, and building strong relationships. This habit shifts the mindset from competition and self-interest to one of cooperation and shared success. Covey explains that highly effective people seek solutions where all parties benefit, rather than trying to win at the expense of others or accepting only personal gain. The win-win mindset is built on integrity, maturity, and an abundance mentality. Integrity ensures that your actions align with your values and commitments. Maturity allows you to balance courage for your own needs with consideration for others. An abundance mentality, the belief that there are enough resources and opportunities for everyone, prevents jealousy, scarcity thinking, and destructive rivalry. Thinking win-win does not mean compromising or giving in. Rather, it encourages creative problem-solving and seeking outcomes that satisfy everyone's key concerns. Covey contrasts this with other relationship paradigms: win-lose, dominating others; lose-win, submitting to others; lose-lose, mutual destruction; and win, ignoring others. By adopting win-win thinking, relationships improve, trust grows, and collaboration flourishes, creating long-term success and harmony. This habit is particularly powerful in personal relationships, workplaces, and communities where cooperation and trust are essential for lasting effectiveness. When individuals think win-win, they move beyond short-term gains and foster environments where everyone can thrive. In essence, think win-win teaches that true success is not a zero-sum game. By focusing on mutual benefit, you create stronger bonds, better outcomes, and sustainable effectiveness in all areas of life. Win-win thinking transforms not only results, but also the way people relate to each other, turning conflict into opportunity and competition into collaboration.
Seek first to understand, then to be understood, is the fifth habit Stephen Covey presents, emphasizing empathetic communication as the foundation for effective relationships and problem-solving. Many people listen with the intent to reply, rather than truly understanding the other person. This habit reverses that instinct. Effective communication begins with listening deeply and empathetically to another's perspective before expressing your own. Covey explains that understanding someone fully requires active listening, paying attention not only to words, but also to emotions, nonverbal cues, and underlying needs. By genuinely seeking to understand, you build trust, reduce misunderstandings, and create an environment where collaboration and problem-solving can flourish. People feel valued when they are heard, which opens the door for mutual respect and constructive dialogue. Only after you have understood another's perspective should you express your own ideas, feelings, or solutions. By framing your communication around the other person's needs and viewpoints, your message becomes far more persuasive and effective. This habit strengthens both personal and professional relationships, turning conflicts into opportunities for connection and growth. Covey also highlights that this principle requires patience and humility. It is a long-term investment in relationships rather than a quick tactic to win an argument. Listening first demonstrates emotional maturity and integrity, creating a foundation for influence and cooperation. In essence, seek first to understand, then to be understood, teaches that true effectiveness in communication comes from empathy, not persuasion. By prioritizing understanding over being understood, you foster trust, collaboration, and lasting solutions, transforming interactions into meaningful connections that benefit both parties.
Synergize is the sixth habit Stephen Covey introduces, focusing on the power of collaboration, creativity, and valuing differences. While previous habits build a strong foundation of personal effectiveness and empathetic communication, synergy takes relationships and teamwork to the next level by combining the strengths of multiple people to achieve results greater than the sum of their parts. Covey explains that synergy occurs when individuals appreciate and leverage differences rather than seeing them as obstacles. These differences, perspectives, skills, experiences, and ideas become a source of innovation when people collaborate openly and creatively. The habit encourages an abundance mindset, recognizing that through cooperation, everyone can achieve more than they could alone. Synergizing requires trust, openness, and effective communication. Teams that truly practice synergy listen to each other, respect different viewpoints, and explore alternatives that neither could have discovered individually. Conflict is not avoided, rather it is approached constructively as an opportunity to generate creative solutions that satisfy all parties. In practical terms, synergy can transform workplaces, communities, and personal relationships. It allows for creative problem-solving, strengthens bonds, and produces outcomes that are both innovative and sustainable. Covey emphasizes this habit is about valuing interdependence rather than pursuing independence or self-interest alone. In essence, synergy teaches that the whole can be far greater than the sum of its parts. By embracing differences, fostering collaboration, and cultivating creativity, we can achieve results that would be impossible individually. Synergy turns relationships and teamwork into powerful forces for growth, innovation, and long-term success, making it one of the most impactful habits for highly effective people.
Sharpen the saw is the seventh and final habit in Stephen Covey's framework, emphasizing continuous self-renewal and balance. Covey uses the metaphor of a woodcutter who must regularly sharpen his saw to work effectively. Without renewal, even the strongest and most skilled person will eventually lose effectiveness. This habit reminds us that personal growth, health, and well-being are essential to sustaining long-term success. Covey identifies 4 key dimensions of renewal: physical, caring for the body through exercise, nutrition, sleep, and rest; mental, expanding knowledge, developing skills, and engaging in critical thinking and learning; emotional, social, nurturing relationships, practicing empathy, and maintaining emotional balance; spiritual, connecting with your values, purpose, and principles through reflection, meditation, or meaningful activities. Sharpening the saw is not a one-time activity. It requires regular, intentional effort in all 4 areas to maintain effectiveness and resilience. Covey stresses that neglecting any dimension can reduce productivity, creativity, and overall life satisfaction. By investing in self-renewal, individuals increase their capacity to perform, innovate, and contribute positively to others. This habit also reinforces all the previous 6 habits. A balanced, renewed individual is better equipped to be proactive, prioritize important tasks, communicate empathetically, collaborate effectively, and create synergistic outcomes. In essence, Sharpen the Saw teaches that sustained effectiveness comes from self-care and continuous growth. By maintaining and renewing our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dimensions, we enhance our ability to live with purpose, handle challenges, and positively impact the world. It is the habit that ensures the other 6 habits remain strong, creating a life of lasting effectiveness, balance, and fulfillment.
You've just explored the key lessons from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, a timeless guide to personal growth, effectiveness, and meaningful living. From being proactive and taking control of your life to beginning with a clear vision, prioritizing what truly matters, and thinking win-win in relationships, Covey provides a blueprint for building character and achieving lasting success. We also learned the importance of seeking first to understand, synergizing with others, and continuously renewing ourselves through sharpening the saw. These habits are more than just techniques. They are principles for living intentionally, creating positive impact, and cultivating balance in all areas of life. By applying them consistently, you can transform challenges into opportunities, build stronger relationships, and move toward your personal and professional goals with clarity and confidence. If you found this summary insightful and want to continue unlocking wisdom from the world's greatest books, make sure to subscribe to WiserReads. Join our community of curious minds, gain practical insights from every book, and take the first step toward becoming a more effective, fulfilled, and empowered version of yourself. Remember, growth is a journey, and every book you read or listen to can be a powerful step forward.